The Light Passes AOV widget has become one of the most adopted plugins for artists rendering cinematics in Unreal Engine, currently on its 4th major update with more exciting updates coming this year. Today, however, I'm here to introduce a more affordable toned-down version of the Light Passes AOV widget. Introducing the Light Passes Lite. Designed for speed and simplicity, this streamlined version of the popular Light Passes AOV widget makes it easier than ever to group, manage, and render your lights through Unreal Engine's Movie Render Queue and Movie Render Graph. No complicated setups, just clean, organized light passes. Let's go over using the tool in the scene. We're ready for render, so we'll go into our Unreal Launcher and search for the Light Passes Lite in the Fab library. Go to your plugins and make sure Movie Render Queue is checked on. You can also check on the Movie Render Queue additional passes. You may have to restart your scene. Go to the Blueprints folder and find the Light Passes Lite folder. Right-click on the blueprint and select Run as Editor Utility Widget. After opening it once, you can now open it by going into the Tool drop-down, Editor Utility Widget, and select the tool. To start, we can add our sequence. Use the film clapper to select the currently open sequence. You can also drag and drop from the content browser or search from the drop-down menu. Next, we'll set up our light groups. Just like the Light Passes AOV widget, we do this by actor tag. So I'll go in and I'll select my sunlight and give it the name L-Sun or Sun. I'll do the same with my window light, and then I'll give my environment light an ENV actor tag. This means that each light is in its own group with its own name. I'll show you how this works by batching the MRQ. You'll see that each light now has its own job based off the actor tag we gave them. Watch what happens when I give my sun and my environment the same tag. You'll see now that I now have 2 jobs, and both my environment and my sunlight are under the environment group. We'll go into the sequences to show you how now the window light is separate, but the environment light and the sunlight are in the ENV group. I'll set everything back to normal and we'll look into the blueprint light actor groups. This works the same as the Light Passes AOV widget. To showcase, we'll go into the demo scene. Here I actually have a blueprint light. I'll open up the blueprint and you'll see that I've given both lights the actor tag sun and environment. This time it's under component tags. And then since this is a spawnable light, we'll go into our sequencer and you can see I've given both the direction light and skylight in the sequencer tags that match their component tags. This is to make sure that it will work every single time. Save the blueprint, and now I can go and find my environment light in the BP select. You can select it from the list or drag and drop it from the folder. I'll make sure to activate the render BP light option. Now my blueprint lights are good to render. The next option to look at is the override light group option. If you add a light group name to this option, only that light group will render. I'll add sun and batch it. You'll see only my sun pass will show up. If I add ENV, my sun and ENV passes will show up because they are both included. If I wanted the same result with the next option, exclude light groups, I can add my window light group. Now, because I excluded that light group, only ENV and sun will render. Back in the demo scene, we'll go over how emissive materials work. So if you want an emissive pass, you need to make sure you label your emissive objects as emissive in the actor tag section. You then must go into the material and make sure you have an emissive pass mult scalar parameter multiplied right before your emissive plugin. The tool will read that you have an emissive object and will create an emissive pass with all lights disabled and the emissives turned on. It will then make sure that the emissives are turned off in all the other sequences. Back in our scene, you'll see our last option here is a config. Here you can put in a movie render config to have it batch in with all of your automated light passes. So I have here just a regular config, and we'll go in and we'll just add in a couple settings that I would normally use for a render. I'll go ahead and change it to EXR, add in some post-process materials, create an object ID, and add a color setting so that I can make sure that I'm rendering in linear. I'll then go ahead and I'll batch it to the MRQ, and you'll see now we have that same config but for all the passes. Now you can see we have all of our settings in there, but we don't have our lights in our output directory, and we don't have it in our name. If you wanted to create specific folders, you could just type in the light in each single one. But as you can see in the movie render queue, I've added the light group name to the job of each pass. So now we can use that go into our config and type in job name just as we would with any string formatter, and then I'll add in the light group name to our output path into our file name format. That way we have our lights in our file name and we can create a folder for our light groups. You can also use this with the movie render graph. Select the movie graph tab in the tool. This allows you to get all the automations of the tool with the movie graph config. We'll go down to the movie graph and hit movie graph override. Then scroll down until we see root graph. Here, I'll select the demo movie config. I'll then hit the batch to MRQ button and we'll see that each of our light passes have a movie graph config attached. I'm going to go ahead and render my passes with the movie render queue, and then we'll take this into Fusion. I'll bring my passes into Fusion. I'll merge them together with screen operators, and I can add brightness nodes to each one. Now I have a remade beauty with the Unreal lights. I can adjust my lights or make any other adjustments I need. That's the Light Passes Lite tool. It is currently available on Fab for $9.99 USD. From July 1st to the 14th, it'll be on sale for $4.99 USD. As always, link is in the description. If you have any questions, you can comment them down below or join the Discord. Link in the description below.